On February 27th, literally tomorrow, we're about to experience what I genuinely believe is one of the most powerful and explosive astrological events of this entire year. And I'm not being dramatic here. This is a Mars-Uranus collision, a perfect square, and if you've been feeling this intense, restless energy building up inside you lately, like you're about to jump out of your own skin, there's a very specific reason for that. And here's what's really getting my attention. This isn't just cosmic energy floating around in space. I think this is a catalyst, a cosmic detonator that's about to blow apart everything in your life that's been keeping you stuck, small, or playing it safe. And the wild part? Most people have absolutely no idea what's about to hit. Now, if you've been feeling weirdly agitated, irritable, or like you just can't sit still anymore, stay with me on this one. There's a very specific reason that's happening, and I'm going to break down exactly what your body is trying to tell you later in this video. But first, I need to explain why I believe tomorrow could literally set you free, because right now, at this very moment, you're standing at a threshold. And what happens in the next 48 hours? I really think it has the power to completely redirect the entire trajectory of your life. This isn't just an astrological aspect, it's a cosmic breaking point. So here's the thing most people don't understand about Mars-Uranus squares. They think it's just another transit, something that happens, creates a little tension, and then fades away. But that's not how this works. And I really believe this one is different. Mars is the planet of action, courage, and raw will. It's that fire inside you that says, I'm done waiting, I'm moving forward now. And when Mars is in Aquarius, which it is right now, that action becomes revolutionary. It's not about personal gain or emotional drama. It's about breaking free from outdated systems, defying arbitrary rules, and fighting for authentic progress. But then you have Uranus, the cosmic disruptor, the lightning bolt, the planet that shatters every illusion of safety and control you've ever clung to. And Uranus has been sitting in Taurus since 2018, slowly destabilizing everything we thought was solid, our finances, our physical security, our material foundations, even our sense of what's real and stable. When these two forces collide in a perfect 90-degree square tomorrow at 11:20, I genuinely believe it creates an electric pressure cooker. Because both of them are in fixed signs, Aquarius and Taurus, and fixed signs don't bend. They don't compromise, they snap. And here's what I've been noticing, and honestly, I've been feeling this myself. The tension has been building for weeks. You might have felt it as this strange, buzzing anxiety, this restlessness that won't go away no matter what you do. Some people are snapping at loved ones over nothing. Others are making impulsive decisions that surprise even themselves. Does that resonate? This is the energy accumulating. And tomorrow, it reaches its breaking point. But here's what nobody's really talking about. I think this breaking point is exactly what we need. Because when something breaks, it also breaks us free. You're already under the influence, and it's about to peak. I want to be real with you about something. This Mars-Uranus square didn't just start yesterday. The influence has been building since early February. And if you go back and look at your life over the past few weeks, I think you'll start to see the pattern. Remember that solar eclipse we had on February 17th? That was in Aquarius too, at 28 degrees. Eclipses don't just happen and disappear. They leave this energetic imprint, like a reset button was pressed on a specific area of your life. But the thing about eclipses is, sometimes the change they bring is hidden at first. You feel it, but you can't quite see it yet. And that's where Mars comes in. Tomorrow, Mars crosses almost the exact same degree as that eclipse. It's like Mars is the match that lights the fuse the eclipse already laid down. Everything that eclipse was trying to shift, everything it was trying to wake you up to, Mars is going to force it into reality, violently if necessary. I keep thinking about the Sabian symbol for this degree, a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis, and that image just keeps hitting me. Because the chrysalis represents everything familiar, the old identity, the comfortable routine, the version of yourself that feels safe because it's known. But here's the thing, you can't stay in the chrysalis and become the butterfly. The emergence requires force, it requires struggle, it requires breaking through. And if you've been feeling like you're being squeezed, compressed, pressured from all sides lately, that's not punishment. I really believe that's preparation. You're being pushed to break through, to emerge as something you couldn't be while you were still playing it safe. The 3 sudden breakthroughs that will set you free. So here's where it gets really interesting for me. Based on everything I've studied about this transit, based on the historical patterns of Mars-Uranus collisions, and based on what I've been observing in my own life and the lives of people around me, I believe this aspect is going to deliver 3 very specific types of breakthroughs. And these aren't gentle, gradual shifts. These are sudden, electric, undeniable. Let me break them down for you. Breakthrough 1, the shattering of false security. The first breakthrough is going to hit you where you've been compromising your truth for comfort, and I think you already know what I'm talking about. There's something in your life right now. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a living situation, where you've been telling yourself, it's fine, it's good enough, I should be grateful for what I have. But deep down, you know it's not aligned, you know you're settling, you know you're staying because leaving feels too scary, too risky, too uncertain. Mars square, Uranus doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your logical reasons for staying stuck. What it does is create a sudden, unavoidable disruption that forces the truth to the surface. And this can happen in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's an external event. Your partner suddenly says something that reveals they're not who you thought they were. Your boss makes a decision that shows you'll never be valued there. A financial shock exposes how unstable your current foundation actually is. Has something like this already started happening? Other times it's purely internal. You wake up tomorrow or the next day and something inside you has just shifted. That thing you were tolerating, you can't tolerate it anymore. That compromise you were making, it suddenly feels unbearable. The fear that was keeping you in place, it's weaker than your need to be free. And here's what I want you to understand. This isn't failure. This isn't you being ungrateful or impulsive. I believe this is your soul refusing to stay small anymore. The structures that are crumbling right now, they were too small to hold the version of you that's trying to emerge. The breakthrough comes when you stop fighting the collapse and you let it happen, when you choose authentic truth over false comfort, when you realize that real security can only be built on a foundation of absolute honesty with yourself and with your life. Now, am I saying you should quit your job or leave your relationship tomorrow based on a random impulse? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, if this transit reveals a truth that's been suppressed, don't ignore it. Don't rationalize it away. The liberation you're looking for is on the other side of that truth. Breakthrough 2, your body is about to come back to life. Remember at the beginning when I said there's a specific reason you've been feeling so restless and agitated? Okay, this is it. The second breakthrough is physical, somatic. It's happening in your actual body, in your nervous system, in your life force energy. And I think this is where the Uranus in Taurus piece really comes in. Over time, maybe over months, maybe over years, many of us have adapted to living in a kind of numbed-out state. We get up, we go through the motions, we follow the routine. We're functioning, but we're not actually alive. The passion is gone. The excitement is gone. Even basic physical vitality feels muted, right? And your body has been trying to tell you this, maybe through chronic fatigue, maybe through this persistent feeling of heaviness, maybe through the fact that nothing feels fun anymore, nothing feels exciting anymore. You're just existing. Mars square Uranus is like a cosmic defibrillator. It sends this massive surge of electric current through your entire system. And yes, at first, it feels uncomfortable. It feels like restlessness, irritability, insomnia, anxiety. You might feel jittery, on edge, like you've had way too much caffeine even though you haven't. Some people are experiencing muscle tension, unexplained aches, or this weird buzzing sensation in their body. But here's what I think is actually happening. Your life force is waking up. The energy that's been dormant, suppressed, and flattened by routine is surging back online. And your nervous system is freaking out a little bit because it's not used to this much aliveness. The breakthrough happens when you stop trying to calm this energy down and you start channeling it, when you move your body in a completely new way, when you change your physical environment, when you do something spontaneous, unexpected, even a little bit reckless, in a good way. This could look like suddenly taking up a new physical practice, starting to dance again, going on a spontaneous trip, completely rearranging your living space, changing your appearance in a bold way, taking a physical risk you've been too scared to take. And what you'll notice is you feel alive again, the heaviness lifts, the passion comes back. You remember what it feels like to be excited about being in your body, being in the world, being present to the moment. Because I really believe that's what this transit is trying to give you back. Your vitality, your aliveness, your raw, unfiltered life force. Breakthrough 3, the leap into your authentic self. And this brings us to the third breakthrough, and honestly this one might be the most important. This entire transit, all of this tension, all of this disruption, all of this electric energy, it's ultimately about one thing: individuation. Becoming who you actually are, separate from who everyone else expects you to be. Mars in Aquarius demands that you stand apart from the crowd, that you break the rules, that you assert your unique vision even if it makes you unpopular. Uranus demands that you take the risk, make the leap, and prove to yourself that you can handle the instability. And here's where it gets intense. This breakthrough often requires you to do something that terrifies you, something that feels too bold, too risky, too not you. But the thing is, it is you. It's the part of you that's been suffocated by fear and conditioning and the need to fit in. This might be the moment you finally speak that truth you've been holding back, the moment you launch that unconventional idea everyone said wouldn't work. The moment you set a boundary so firm that people around you are shocked. The moment you walk away from something good because you know it's not good for you. And I'm not going to lie, this is scary, because when you step into your authentic self this boldly, you risk rejection, you risk failure, you risk people thinking you've lost your mind. But here's what I've realized, and this was a huge aha moment for me. The fear of being yourself is so much more painful than the temporary discomfort of other people's judgment. The breakthrough is in the act itself. It's in proving to yourself that you can survive outside the cage, that you can handle the chaos of change, that you trust yourself more than you need external validation. And when you take that leap, when you choose courage over predictability, something permanent shifts inside you. You earn your freedom. You earn your self-trust. You become the author of your own revolution instead of the victim of circumstance. The energy around this is chaotic. Here's how to navigate it. I want to be honest with you about something. This transit is messy, it's volatile, and not everyone is going to handle it well. You're probably already seeing this, right? People acting strangely, unexpected outbursts, relationships imploding seemingly out of nowhere, normally calm people making shocking decisions. This is the collective energy being activated. And because Mercury went retrograde yesterday, literally the day before this Mars-Uranus peak, communication is going to be foggy. You're not going to be able to think your way through this clearly. Your logic isn't going to save you. Your pros and cons list isn't going to help. This is where you have to trust something deeper, your intuition, your gut, your body's wisdom, because what this transit is asking you to do can't be figured out intellectually. It has to be felt. So my advice, don't make permanent decisions in a moment of pure reactivity, but also don't ignore what this energy is revealing to you. There's a difference between impulsively blowing up your life and courageously responding to a truth that's been suppressed for too long. And you know the difference. You can feel it in your body. If tomorrow or the next day brings a sudden disruption, breathe. Ask yourself, is this chaos pointing me towards something real? Is there a truth here I've been avoiding? If the answer is yes, don't run from it. Move with it, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's scary. And here's something really beautiful that I want you to know. About 48 minutes after the exact Mars-Uranus square, the Sun forms a perfect conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. The North Node is like your soul's compass. It points toward where you need to grow, even when it's terrifying. What this tells me is that the chaos isn't random. The disruptions aren't punishment. I really believe they're destiny in disguise. They're pushing you toward your highest path. And the more you can surrender to that, the more you can trust that this is happening for you, not to you, the smoother this becomes. This is your moment. Don't let it pass you by. So here's what I want you to remember. Tomorrow, February 27th, is not just another day. This is a portal, a cosmic window, and it's not going to stay open forever. Some people are going to feel this energy, get scared and resist it. They're going to double down on the familiar. They're going to talk themselves out of the changes that are trying to happen. And when the dust settles, they'll still be stuck in the same patterns, wondering why nothing ever changes. Other people are going to recognize this for what it is, a rare opportunity to break free. They're going to let the old structures fall. They're going to channel the restless energy into bold action. They're going to take the leap, and their entire life is going to shift. The difference between those two paths is a choice, your choice. And I genuinely believe that if you're watching this video right now, you're meant to be in the second group, because you're already paying attention. You're already sensing that something big is happening. You're already feeling the pull toward liberation. So whatever breakthrough is trying to happen in your life right now, whether it's shattering false security, reclaiming your vitality, or stepping into your authentic self, I want you to let it happen. I want you to trust the disruption. I want you to choose freedom over fear. Because when you look back on this moment a year from now, I think you're going to see it as the turning point, the moment you stopped playing small, the moment you stopped settling, the moment you finally set yourself free. All right, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Seriously, it means a lot that you stayed with me through all of this. If this resonated with you and you want more content like this, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. Take care of yourself, trust the process, and I'll see you in the next one.